Yes, sir.
On the hearing system, we reinstalled the loop and we have the FM system.
Yes.
Are they both usable at the same time, or
I
is it
believe so.
either or?
I think
Either
they're
or.
both used at the same time.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Well, and along those lines, I don't, is one back
Yeah.
there, you wanna ask about the,
Yeah, we've for years had this feedback issue with guitars, electric
With back
guitars.
pickups.
If they're in the loop, we just get bad, ugly feedback.
Probably still gonna have that.
So is it possible to turn it off?
Yes, and I will have to ask Brian how he's got it all wired before I answer that question.
Okay.
Before we leave, remind me, Brian's probably still here and we can ask him that question. Brian's my guy who does all of the infield wiring, and until I get that drawing back, I don't exactly know how everything's wired and configured. I know how it's supposed to be, but
or worth you can convert to piezo pickups instead.
Yeah, do that.
so we'll go ahead and turn it on. It's as simple as sticking the key in, and I think maybe I turned the key in the wrong way. Nope. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. Turning it on. Now it's going to go through a sequence system. It is timed. I always tell people to wait a good 2 minutes before everything clicks on, even it's probably going to be on under a minute. And what it's doing is it's powering in a certain particular sequence the amplifiers and then the console out front. And it's triggered to actually send power out to that console, so everything out in that rack will turn on when this is turned on as well.
So no separate power switch on the board out there.
I don't believe so.
Okay,
I
all right.
believe it's all supposed to be sequenced together.
Okay.
As long as they did what they were told to do,
All right.
um,
Yeah.
which they're usually pretty good at that. So
Okay.
if for some reason it's not, we'll figure that out and add it to the punch list. So that's that. So all you have to do is turn that key just like you're used to flipping that switch. Now the system comes on in a default mode, which is automatic. So really and truly, if you have a very basic service where it's just spoken word, or the liturgical service, you should really just have to turn the key on, walk out, and those microphones are going to be on. If you want to make adjustments to them, this is where this cool little box comes into play. So just like you would on an old iPad or old iPod with the dial, is I just touch the center of it. This center button right there kind of doesn't really look like a button, but it is a button. That's the select button. And this dial portion right here is the selection up and down portion. Everybody can see me doing that, so you know exactly what I'm doing. So what it gives you is it gives you automatic. So automatic is a list of a couple microphones. It's the pulpit lectern and choir mics that are in the automatic, and a couple of wireless. So I think there's a couple handhelds and a couple lapel body packs that are in the automatic system, and those are set. You just turn them on and they're usable. So Pastor Mark's we've used in the automatic and the manual. Now those are always automatic. The way that it's designed is that they're not individually controlled. They're always in the automatic mode. We do that for a reason. It's the safest way because sometimes people forget and they just want certain microphones on. So there is a list of microphones. Again, I believe it's the pulpit lectern, a couple wireless, and the choirs that are always on in the automatic mode. What is not automatic is that manual portion that we've been talking about, the soundboard, those inputs, and a couple of extra wireless. So how do you tell the difference on your wireless microphones, what's auto and what's not? Everything's been labeled nicely for you. So WL means wireless. This is wireless 6. It says auto mix. That means it's in the automatic system. This one, wireless 4, this is not in the automatic system. In order for this to come on, you'll have to put it in manual mode and control it at the soundboard. Does that make sense?
The soundboard in the back.
In the back.
Okay.
In our beautiful custom-made roll-up door.
Yes.
Now, why would you use one over the other?
It's preference, and it's really... I, personally, if this was me and I was here all the time, I would never have an automatic system. But that's because my church that I go to is a contemporary non-denominational church, and they don't have an automatic system. So what hurts them is that every time they have a small service, even if it's one microphone, they got to have an operator. If it's a funeral, they got to have an operator.
Gotcha.
Because they just got to have somebody at that back console. So why we create the option for an automatic system is if you have that type of service where it's a couple microphones
Yeah.
or a funeral or a small system, it's all you need. Even a wedding, you just come in here and turn it on, you're done. At my church, you've always got to have an operator.
Okay, so right now you have it with 2 of those.
I believe so.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And you have how many hand mics?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Okay. Note to self, we had to have 3 of those on automatic.
I think there's 3 or 4 on automatic.
Okay,
He's
cool.
talking about these.
Yeah.
Those.
Okay.
We need 3 of those on automatic, one for East, one for Mark, one for Kate, and one for
Bishop.
Holly.
And the
And then we
bishop
need to
comes.
have, I would say, 2 hand mics. just
We
in
can
case.
look at the drawing, and I can tell you exactly what's
Thank
on the
you.
drawing.
And the manual wireless mics are already channeled into the board,
Yes.
so there's nothing to wire, we just gotta control them
Yes.
from the board.
Yes. They are physically hardwired from here to that board.